Welcome to this month's Church Growth Minute. My name is Tim Massengale, and I'd like to share with you some insights, if I could, about church growth. And the topic that I want to talk about today is one that you don't hear too often when it comes to church growth, and it's just simply the role that prayer plays in having a successful church and in helping your church to grow. I really think that one of the most often overlooked aspects of church growth is that of prayer. Quite simply, without a strong prayer ministry within the local church, I think we will fail to invoke the most powerful and the most successful tool in our arsenal for revival. It is for this reason that I encourage every church to have a department that is devoted entirely to promoting and encouraging prayer within the local church. The prayer department will be responsible for encouraging by a wide variety of methods, things such as early morning prayer, regularly scheduled prayer services, pre-service prayer. And the director also usually tracks attendance and alerts the pastor when participation begins to decline in any of these aspects within the church. They also promote prayer regularly within the church. They promote regular family devotions within the church by highlighting materials and tools and books that can make the family prayer time more effective and hopefully a part of the ministry and devotions of every person in the church family. Another thing I found to be extremely successful in promoting prayer within the church is an annual prayer revival. A prayer revival is a revival in which a special speaker is scheduled to preach and teach on prayer and fasting for a series of nights. And then, of course, the church practices what they preach for an extended time following every service. You can have other annual prayer events like watch night services, and you could start the year off with 40 days of prayer and fasting. I encourage churches to do a quarterly prayer and fasting week, and in the fall, a 24-hour prayer and fasting chain. Annual children's prayer revivals have been a tremendous success in our churches, and they're also a powerful tool for promoting prayer among our youth. I believe the prayer director within the church should also oversee special prayer ministries such as a prayer hotline, the intercessors' prayer teams, prayer walks, prayer partners. All of these are designed to encourage more people to be active in a dynamic prayer ministry within the local church. Now, some churches launch and maintain a prayer library where you collect books and articles and CDs, DVDs, and other resources that are kept that allows members to borrow these tools for developing their own active prayer life. Now, evangelism events should always be supported by prayer. When the church gathers together for outreach, it's always helpful to have a prayer team back at the church that's interceding for the success of that various evangelism event. Home Bible studies can also be supported by prayer partners so that while the lesson is being taught each week, somebody is praying at the same time for that study to change the heart of the one that's being taught. I found that intercessor prayer teams can just totally revolutionize churches. These prayer teams pray and intercede for whomever is preaching while the Word of God is being preached. The teams are rotated so that a team is not missing more than one service per month, but in truth, they are participating in the Word of God by supporting it in prayer as it's accomplishing what its intended purpose is, and that is to change the hearts of men. So I strongly encourage you to consider launching a prayer department within your local church. You do this by appointing a prayer ministry leader. You give them a good job description that outlines all of their responsibilities and duties, and you make prayer a high priority within your church. What you will find is the long-term effect that this will bring to your church will be growth, both numerical and spiritual. If you would like a good job description and perhaps a little bit more explanation of the various things I've mentioned, please call us at the Apostolic Information Service, and that would be 317-781-7712. or visit us online at www.apostolic.edu. God bless you. I hope you've enjoyed this month's Church Growth Minute.